Well, good afternoon, and thanks again for tuning in to the Raymond Hall Show. It is just something about that song, Somebody Still Needs Me. What a wonderful day. Happy every day to everybody. I am just excited to be here. I'm here with my host, equal host, Miss Errecca Walker.
Hello, everyone.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing out there in the listening world? And you, Mr. Hall?
Mm-hmm. How was your Memorial Day?
It was absolutely lovely. I stayed home all day and reflected on the meaning of Memorial Day.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And it was something that once you really get the meaning of it, like all the people, the men and the women that fought and went along before us, and they gave their lives. Mm-hmm. It's a very intimate and detailed, and yes. I mean, it's just a time of reflection. Yes,
it is. It is so significant that it deserves to be a national holiday.
Yes, it does.
And you all have to excuse me. I was talking last week. Well, next week we're going to have our Memorial Day program, and I have to admit my side partner here did try to warn me several times that Memorial Day was that weekend.
Right.
So we're going to take this show to use it as our contribution to recognize those men and women who served and helped to make this nation what it is. We have a wonderful, packed show today.
Absolutely thrilling for you guys today.
We actually have a World War II veteran as a guest. We have Mr. Ervin Simonet.
Simonet, that's him.
And we have his son, Ivan Simonet.
Yes.
And they're going to be joining us shortly. We also have Lavada Theus, and she's going to be talking to us about purposeful aging.
Wow, I can't wait to hear this insight.
I'm excited. And we added a salute corner.
Yes, we did.
Some time ago, and we added a current event corner.
Yes, hot topics, those current events.
Hot topics because people need to pay attention.
We need to be wide awake at this moment in time regarding our current events that are going on minute by minute. We have to stay updated.
Yeah. I don't even know the word for it. Every time I hear the news and something coming out of Washington, D.C., I am just floored.
Just more and more startling every day. And meanwhile, while all of these things are going on, bills and legislation is still being passed. So that's what we want to make sure that each and every one of you keep at the front of your mind, that things are still moving along in Washington, although they're not talking about it as much, but they are still being passed and repealed and move forward. So that's why we want to keep you abreast of these current events.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons why the Raymond Hall Show is so important to me, because it is about service. And one of the services that we give here on this show is that we provide a platform for people to be informed. One of the things that communities have always benefited by is talking to each other.
Exactly, communicating with each other.
So they may do something in Washington that they don't think
makes a difference.
Makes a difference, and they don't think people going to pay attention.
Right.
Okay, but here at the radio show, specifically on the current corner with Miss Errecca Walker, we going to tell it.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
That's it. We are going to tell it.
So now, a couple of things caught your mind. What are some of the things that caught your attention?
Well, a couple of things that caught my mind, that caught my attention was, like I said earlier, about the things that are still taking place. Two major things have taken place that I was concerned about, which are some legislation that was passed to put the repeal and replace Obamacare in a position to be passed by the voting of the legislation.
Okay, so, all right. So the Affordable Care Act,
Yes.
which was under the, they tagged it Obamacare.
Yes.
So it was my opinion, and this is just my opinion, that every time they said Obamacare, they would be putting his name to something that they wanted people to perceive as negative.
Yes.
And the bill is called the Affordable Care Act.
The Affordable Care Act, that's what it's called.
Okay, so now this Affordable Care Act is what they wanted to repeal and replace. Okay.
Right.
And with the repeal and replace, they wanted to put their thing in.
Right.
Now, their thing is the thing where 23 more million people
will be without insurance.
Okay.
And so what has happened is, with the little research and time that I spent on the internet, is that they have to have 60, is it, Mr. Hall, 60 votes?
Well, what they needed, they knew that the way they were headed, they were going to need some bipartisan support.
Exactly.
With whether it's 60 or 51 or 52, they knew that they was going to need some bipartisan support. And you heard of gasoline,
yes,
on your draw. So they knew that if I ain't voting for that one, okay. So now here comes the, for lack of a better word, shenanigans. Let us jury rig this thing.
Exactly.
So now we don't have to have bipartisan support.
It's called reconciliation.
Okay.
Reconciliation paperwork or filing was filed in order for them to not need the certain amount of votes. Now they need a lesser amount of votes in order for this repeal and replace. So this is something that's happening that I didn't know anything about, and when I read about it, I immediately came to Mr. Hall and said, we need to talk about this.
Yeah, and I immediately said, let's do it, okay, because that's a staggering number. 23 million Americans will be without health insurance.
Exactly. And also there's several other additional things would be affected, which is the maternity care, which is just numbers of things that we don't see right now in front of us, but we will feel the effect of it by the people that are our neighbors, our friends, and our family. Yeah.
One of the things that was good about the Affordable Care Act was that it had preventive services,
which will be cut.
Okay, and it also had services for
the mentally disabled,
persons with mental illness, as well as persons who had different types of addictions, and that kind of thing. Here is what we are raising this banner issue for. The show is about service, but service is a personal thing. Service simply says that you're going to make a commitment with your time and talent to get involved. Now, Ms. Walker, what she does is she sees things and she says this is something that absolutely we must speak about. So we have the platform, we use our time and we use our talents to make it possible. But it does no good if you don't pay attention.
And take action.
So
what are some of the things that we can do as constituents, Mr. Hall, from your opinion?
Well, from my opinion, one of the greatest things that you can do is call your elected officials. You call them and let them know how you feel about how they would vote on some of this.
Right.
You write your elected official, email, write them a letter, get one of them forever stamps. You don't even have to worry about the price going up. I'm going to write 10 because the price is the same forever. Okay? I mean, call them, write them. We've done a complete 360 here. At one point, we, the community, had our slate of things we wanted done, and this is what we gave to that person who wanted to serve the community in a legislative or political position, and they went to their elected office with what we wanted to do. Now someone comes to us and tell us what they want to do. How in the world do you really think 23 million Americans voted for the president to get up in there and say, I'm going to cut your medical insurance? No, they got, I just said hoodwinked.
And it's just it's something that we really need to pay attention to, because this is like one of the major number one things that he is working on. And the fact that the reconciliation documentation has been filed means that when it's time for the repeal and replace to be passed on, to be voted into, to whatever it is they have to do in Congress and in the Senate and the House, they have already put something in place for the repeal and replace to happen. That's my point. That was my whole conversation, my whole reason for talking about this, because I'm thinking that it's just they're going to vote and we all have a level playing ground. Yeah.
Well, I think that it's a much more cynical plot. I grew up at that time when they said we see conspiracies around every corner. If it ain't raining, it ain't raining. But they still trying to post something on your head. So just because you say I see a conspiracy don't mean that it's not a conspiracy.
We don't want to be cynical. We want to believe that we are American citizens. We all take advantage of the diplomatic system that we live in. We want to believe that all of this is true. And so now you're saying, and I'm reading, and we have discovered that there are some areas of concern.
Yeah. Well, I will simply say this. There are two things involved here. Service says that I will give my best with my best in spite of all.
Right.
So people before us gave service, and we still give service in spite of the challenges that's faced before us. Matter of fact, our pattern is based on the pattern of those that came before us.
Yes, it is.
People that gave service, people that says, I will give service. One of the interesting things when you go and you read the real accounting of the Tuskegee Airmen and the Buffalo Soldiers and the Red Ball Express, and sometimes it was just a single story of human sacrifice, where they distinguished themselves in spite of things. No matter what was going on, they distinguished themselves. And you would ask, well, did the paycheck last? They said no.
Right.
Okay. Well, what lasted of these people? Their service.
Their service.
Okay.
They were committed.
They were committed. So even though someone tries to redraw the line on health care, even though, you got an attorney general that in his own state was in trouble.
And he's being investigated right now, Mr. Sessions.
Jeff Sessions, right.
Jeff Sessions, yes. And also he has sent out a letter to the attorney general regarding the prosecution of the minimum sentencing.
To his district attorney, to the federal prosecutors is what he did.
Yes, he did.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all are going back, like Ms. Walker said, reflection, because you saw this before. None of this is new.
Right.
What they did was they stacked the federal prisons with this foolishness about, okay, he got $5 worth of something. I don't even believe you can have legitimately $5 worth of drugs. I don't know, but how is that possible? You can come and find $5 worth of something, but you can't find the boatload that bought it over here? And you want to increase the sentence for the man with the $5.
Yes, that's what is in place right now. It was just sent out. There was a letter on the internet, the actual literal letter that was sent. Yeah,
well, he's the attorney general, and he's the head of all of the federal prosecutors. So this is the direction. What our previous president said, he did what was called uniformity and justice when it comes to sentencing. You cannot give one person 30 years.
And another person 2 years.
Some of the people wasn't even getting 2 days.
Exactly.
Yeah, so what I'm saying to you is pay attention. It's bad when you say, well, that's not my fight. till it comes to your door. And then when you start crying and everything and want the world to stop and people to hand you a napkin and a handkerchief, people keep on going.
This is the same subject that we're speaking about today, because when President Barack Obama left office, the role of the federal prisons was at an all-time low. And so now with Mr. Jeff Sessions in his position, that all-time low is slated to be at an all-time high.
It's going to change because of this thing. You see what this certain, what they do is something wicked about building private prisons, but you won't build college campuses.
It just doesn't.
It's something wicked about finding money. You know, you didn't think you was going to get away without a Raymond Hall story, did you?
Oh my goodness.
You knew a story was coming.
I knew.
Okay, that was the story goes like this. They said we're going to send the oranges and stuff overseas to be grown. And the people were saying, well, what we going to do? You sending away out loud? He said, we're going to have a new crop.
What's the new crop going to be?
And that's what they asked. What's the new crop going to be? And they said, well, we also going to send the grapes and the grapefruits. And everybody getting out. Well, what's the new? He said, don't worry about it. You still going to be farmers. You're going to have a new crop.
Right.
Okay. And so he said, well, what's the new crop? He said, we got a new farm.
What's the new farm?
Pelican Bay.
Rikers Island.
Rikers Island. And them new farmers are the new prison guards. But that's a story for another day. Look, we are going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to be back with our guests of honor. We have Mr. Ervin Simonet, and we have Mr. Ivan Simonet. We are going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Can you see it, Raymond? Okay, and we are back. It is an honor for me to have on this show someone that has distinguished themselves with service. It's not just one person. This is an entire family. And it is perfectly suited because just a few days ago, we honored persons who served, and we remember those who had lost their lives on Memorial Day. And today here in the studio, we have this family with rich history. I was talking to Ivan this morning, and Ivan, you was telling me about your brothers and your sister and your dad, and I almost just had to put my pen down. I want to introduce you all to Mr. Ervin Simonet and Mr. Ivan Simonet. Mr. Ervin Simonet, you're a World War II veteran.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And tell us a little about when you served, where you served, and those kind of things.
I served there. I was in the Navy 1944, and I served 44 to 46. And my destination was South Pacific. I was a supply handler, food supply. I was on a ship, destroyer escort. The name was USS Richard M. Rowell, which is decommissioned now. And I served there for 15 months on that ship at seas.
Wow.
So I celebrated my 19th and my 21st birthday in service.
Wow. On that ship?
United States Navy, yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. And was that ship ever in the war itself?
Yes.
Okay.
I fought Okinawa.
Okay.
The Battle of Okinawa. I was caught in it with the ship.
Okay.
And bombs were flying all over the place. So.
Okay. Yeah, you know, Okinawa is special to Navy and Marines.
Yes.
Yeah, we called it I was in the Corps. I was in the Marine Corps, and we called it the Rock. That's all just the Rock.
Guam was my headquarters. So we pick up a load of supplies on a ship from Guam, and we go up to the ship that we're fighting to deliver that supply.
Okay.
And sometimes we had a hard time getting in and a hard time getting out.
Wow.
But we there for 15 months. So
Wow.
I'm blessed.
So,
Yes, you are.
supplying those
Yes.
in the middle of a war effort.
Yes. Middle of everything.
Wow.
Up in the sky, there were bombs coming down, there were traps setting at seas, on the ocean, on the water. So it was a pretty bad thing. It was really rough.
How did you manage to survive it all?
God, I know it was God real good.
Hallelujah.
That's right. Well, I'm going to tell you this.
I've been a Christian all my life.
Been a Christian all your life.
Thank
Praise
God for it.
Yes.
I am just so humbled to sit beside you, sir.
Thank you.
You served at a time when service was even difficult at times due to the color of your skin. You served at a time when we were, and I'm saying we, I wasn't even here. I didn't get here till 52. Okay, and at 52, I would have had nothing if had not you served
Praise God.
and honorably. So God bless you. Now,
Thank you.
Ervin, here you have your father with you all the time, and he walks in the room, and everybody's just in awe and ready to, just open all the doors for him. What is it like growing up with such iconic and heroic father?
Well, my father was the hero. He was a hard-working man. And he died at an early age. I really don't know the exact number, in the 60s. And then I took over then because my mom was growing in age. And all the rest of my family were married and had their own kids. So then I took over. I had to get out of school. I went up to the 6th grade, and I didn't do any more.
Okay.
Wow.
And as a child, Ivan, how was it growing up?
Who, you mean my family?
Yeah, no, with your son. How was that?
Yeah.
Beautiful. We had a real good life. They was all in school. I sent them all to the Catholic school as much as I could. And they all went to school up to the 8th grade through Catholic. Had a real good life. And I had a thing that I work on Sunday. I got into business, and my wife was a designer. She make those lamps and shades. And I'll go sell them what you call a swap meet. I don't know if you heard about it or not.
Yeah, everybody heard of a swap meet.
And he was with me for 15 years, every Sunday.
You was with your dad 15 years every Sunday.
Selling lampshades.
Selling lampshades.
Well, he's a money collector.
Oh, you had an important job.
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
So he stayed with me. A lot of time I tell him, I said, once you hang around and, go to a movie with your friends, and then, I want to be with you. He did.
Oh.
Every Saturday and Sunday, he was with me.
Wow.
And it went on for over 10 years or more.
Wow. Now, I understand that you also went in business in 71 with a...
That was my own business.
Tuskegee.
In 1955, my brother-in-law and I, which is dead now, my brother-in-law and I got into business together.
Okay.
Partnership.
In 1955?
In 1955.
Okay.
So from 1955 to 1971, we were partnership. In 1971, he decided to buy me out, let us be on our own. That's what happened.
Okay.
So he bought me out, I went on my own. I got all the machines transferred to my back garage. I had a large garage. I lived on 79th Street. I had all the machines and everything transferred to my place. He kept his shirt machine at his place. And we had it made from then on.
You all went in business together and became competitors, or you just had your own little territory?
Competing each of us. He had his own business and I had mine.
What type of business was it?
Lamps and shades.
Lamp steel and lampshades.
Lamps and shades.
Lampshades been okay.
That was named Catalina Lamps and Shade.
Catalina lamps.
Oh.
and shades.
76 in Avalon? Yeah, 76 in Avalon.
I've seen that name.
That's it. They've been around. We were the only black at the time that had that business.
Catalina.
But maybe a couple of years after, we began seeing more people coming in, black people, with the same business, lamps and shade. But we started off Just the two. My brother-in-law and I, the two of us.
Mm-hmm. And your wife as a designer?
My wife and her sister.
Oh, and her sister.
Yeah, they design.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's go back to when you were in service. When you first got out of service, let's talk about those first years when you first got out of service. What did veterans benefits look like then? I mean, was there benefits to go to school? Because they called that the year. They say you all built this nation.
No,
when you all came back, you all built communities and advocated for colleges, and you actually built the nation coming back out of that war.
Well, it was true, but I didn't really go for the college thing. I had a farm mechanics, what they call it.
Okay.
That was coming from the governor.
Okay.
There's a pension,
Okay.
Farm mechanic, mechanic of all kinds, automobiles, tractors, or what have you. That's farm mechanic.
Farm mechanic.
So we did that for a while. I went to that school from 1946 to 1951.
Wow.
1951, I arrived in Los Angeles, California with one son.
Mm-hmm.
He's now 67-year-old, living in Long
Whoa.
Beach.
Okay.
So the rest of my children born here in California, in Los Angeles.
Okay.
I had my second son born at St. Francis Hospital in
Linwood?
Linwood.
Uh-huh.
He was born in Linwood, and my daughter.
Okay.
My third son that died, he was born in a little clinic that used to be on Hoover, right off of Manchester. I think they out of commission also.
Mm-hmm.
But they all came out good. I mean, every day they had a full meal. Thank God for that.
Praise God.
That's a good day.
That's a good daddy,
That's
too.
a good day. That's a good day. Okay. So you open up, go on your own. Now let's talk about, I understand that you worked for City Hall under the...
Yes, I worked from the City Hall from 1952, I think, 1960, the same year he born.
Mm-hmm.
I worked from the City Hall from 1960 to 1986.
Okay, 26 years.
I retired in 1986, 20-some years, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so you saw both Bradley and, what was the man before it?
Bradley, I forgot. It was the white fellow. I forgot his name.
Mayor Yorty.
Mayor Yorty.
Yeah.
Sam Yorty.
That's about the way I remember him too, the white guy.
I just saw him, and I worked on the Bradley.
Right.
He was alive at the time.
Right.
Okay.
But this other guy took over, and then I was there 20-some years and then discharged. I mean, retired.
Right.
So I did a pretty good job.
Mm.
But
Now,
it was a whole lot of building in there had up there black only, color
Oh, it was
only,
segregated
white
at that time.
Right.
1960.
Yeah, 60. Yeah, I remember my mother taking me to a store, and you had to go around the back entrance where it said "Colors in a Here,"
Yeah.
and they even had the little water fountain with the little tag.
Yes.
Colored water fountain. I remember. And the bad thing about today is the sign is gone. But the little outline while the sign was there,
it's
they
still
made
there.
sure that it was there.
That's part of that conspiracy theory you talk about.
They paint the whole front of the building and put it on, but they leave the back of the building where it said "Colors in here." They left that up there. Okay, whatever. All right. So now your son was telling me you like dancing and
I do.
Okay.
I go dancing every Saturday and every Sunday.
What?
Yeah, but
Where you go dancing at?
At the Marina Del Rey.
Marina Del Rey?
Right?
Fisherman Village.
Fisherman Village.
That's what the dance is.
Wow.
It's an outside open. It's an open place. Dancing on the ground, gravel or pig, whatever. But it's beautiful.
What type of dance do you do? Line dance, swing?
I don't like the line. I don't like the cha-cha-cha. I like to hold my partner close.
Oh, I heard that slow dance. The old-fashioned slow dance. I heard that.
Exotico.
Now we know what keeps him youthful.
Exactly, that partner he is.
Yeah, that
You get along much better when you got your partner close.
Yeah, that's true.
You hear these young people?
He also enjoys Zydeco.
Oh, yeah.
What is Zydeco?
What is Zydeco?
That's the southern music. It started off in New Orleans.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, you played it for 29 years, but he's retired now.
Yeah, I used to hear it a lot down in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the same thing?
That's coming up.
Not the same thing. Yeah. They used to talk about. No, I won't say that because
20 years
not
ago,
politically correct.
20 years ago in the Zydeco.
Oh, the Geechee.
It was a.
20 years ago in the Zydeco, I was one of the best.
The Zydeco is a type of a music.
Oh, my leg was faster then. I was
wow.
a little bit younger.
Yeah.
But right now, I can't do the line. I can't dance too fast because my leg.
But you can slow dance. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that part.
I know that's right. Okay. So Marina Del Rey and the slow dance.
And about how many people are there with you?
Oh, this last weekend, there were so many people down. The place is kind of small. People were dancing on the parking lot.
Wow.
A lot of people goes there.
So is it just for seniors or anyone?
No, it's for anybody.
Anybody can come. It's free, and it's free.
Come there and have a good time, right?
I'm going down there. Maybe I can
they
do
have
a little longer.
The band player usually have a little cut, tips, you know.
Right.
So it's a live band as well?
Whatever you want. In the tip box.
Right.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Oh, this been around for a while.
Is that
Really?
right? In Marina Del Rey.
Marina Del Rey.
What street?
It's off for Fiji. You know what Fiji is?
Yeah. Now, you all better pay attention. We got this youthful young man here, and he telling you what the secret is. Okay?
Hold them close. The old-fashioned
Hold them close.
slow dance.
Marina Del Rey. You know, you down there with that good
You really
food
want to
and
have
everything.
fun, that's that place to go.
Is that right?
Marina Del Rey is a fun place.
Okay.
And we get a different band every weekend.
Do you?
Sometimes, well, you don't be knowing what you get. But I had the schedule, but I gave it to one of my friends. And the last Sunday of each month is my favorite band.
Okay.
I've been with him for like 12 years. He called my name and said, "Oh, here, 3 o'clock in the evening, you get a break." And he come back, begin playing again. He tell the people, he said, "We got in the audience today, we have a World War II veteran. Has been with me 12 years. His name is Simonet. Get up and sit about." So last Sunday, he stood right there with his saxophone and blow that.
Is that right?
Serenaded you.
The Navy piece from it.
Yeah.
Almost made me cry because I didn't want to see it no more. You know?
Yeah. Well, look, we're going to have to take a break here. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming here on the show. And I'm going to say this. We got to have you again.
Thank you.
We got to have you again. And Ivan, we really need you to come back because we need you to talk about 2 things. We need to talk about this historic family with this rich history of service, and we want to ask you about how do people prepare themselves to buy houses when all of the obstacles are stacked against them.
Right.
Your dad, Mr. Ervin, you talked about believing and holding to God. All of us here hold to God and this and that. And I'll tell you this, it just seems like whenever somebody wants to keep you from doing something, God will make a way for you not only to do it, but expand greatly. So we got to take a break. We've got one more guest in the studio. Sir, I want to thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you very
service.
much.
And we ask if you all would just stick around because we've got another guest. But if you just stick around, we would love to talk to you about coming back.
Absolutely.
Okay? So we're going to take a quick break.
Thank you very much.
We'll be
Thank
right
you.
back.
Okay.
Last name today?
Theus.
Lavada Theus.
Yes,
we
we're
are
back. Hi, I'd like to introduce someone that we have here on our panel today, and her name is Miss Lavada Theus. She is here to speak to us today from the Empowerment Congress with Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas, and she's going to be speaking about purposeful aging today.
Okay.
Welcome.
Look like
It's good to be here. We do know each other. We have on a few occasions.
Yes. Okay.
You know, I work with Senior Services.
Yes.
And I work with District 2.
Okay.
And I was just excited to hear Mr. Simonet talk about him out there dancing, because that's what purposeful aging is all about.
Staying active.
Seniors staying active, staying alert. Friday night, there was a busload of us seniors went to see La La Land at the Hollywood Bowl. And we
was
had a
that?
ball.
Wow.
To play.
And one of the comments that stood out for me from one of the seniors that was with us was, "Oh wow, we got seniors here that aren't afraid to go out at night." And I was like, wow, that stuck in my head. There are a lot of seniors that are afraid to get
go
out.
They are.
And do anything. And a lot of our senior centers are not open
That's
in
true.
the evenings. They
That's
close
true.
at 4,
Yes, they
close
do.
at 5.
That's true.
Which
You
is
all
of
have a
concern.
lively-
Yes, we have a lively
senior community.
Yes, you
as
do.
well.
Yes,
But
yes.
but that was an issue that we addressed, that we need to be open in the
later.
latter part of the evening. But like you said, they don't want to get out in the evening after dark. So what are we going to do about that, Miss Lavada?
So one of the things that we have encouraged
Okay.
people to use access transportation
Okay.
because they're there for us to use. It's cheaper than Uber. Uber, I took a Uber ride and I spent $40.
Where did you go?
Where-
I
you
went
go?
from my house to the Kodak Center
Downtown.
downtown.
It
But
was-
I can get access for $3.25 round trip.
Yeah. We went somewhere for $4 though.
Right, but it depends on the time of day, because at the
Yes.
peak time of day, the rate does go up. So that makes a difference.
Yeah.
But for seniors, they come and pick you up at your door and drop you off at your destination. I have some of my seniors now. I'm with an active group of seniors. We play cards every Wednesday night. That's why I'm a little tired today. We do bid whist over at Crenshaw Live, you know. And we play a lot of places. They play every day, someplace. The senior center over here at Yvonne Brathwaite Burke Center. Yvonne's Burke Center is open in the evenings because we do dancing.
Oh, really?
Now, do you all still have that? I saw you one time on TV. It was about 3:00 in the morning.
On the move. Seniors on the move.
Seniors on the move.
Well, that was a
It was cutting
special.
up. I mean, they was racing and
They was on the
competing
move.
against each other.
Yes.
And that was a program sponsored by the Department of Aging
Okay.
to show seniors the kinds of things you could do.
Yes.
And all of these activities, we were swimming, we were working out, we did yoga, we did Tai Chi to just expose seniors to all of the different activities that are
Okay,
available.
so now where does a senior go, or where does the community go to find senior activities in the
Your senior center. And there are senior centers all over this city. This is a directory of the ones in the county, and this is the city
Okay.
directory.
So
There
where
are
would they get? Where
hundreds.
would they get? Can they write the Department of Aging in their appropriate
Well, they
area,
could
the
write
city,
or
how do they
call.
get it?
Our call.
And they'll mail
They
them
can call
up.
411.
They can call 411,
Yes, they can.
or they
Wow.
can call the direct number to the Department of Aging.
Okay.
And they'll mail them a book.
They'll mail them, yes.
Wow. Okay.
They pass these out for free. Every time there's an event like a health fair, or we had, there's an event coming up, Love is Senior Day, June the 17th. I want to invite everybody out to Love is Senior Day.
Okay, June
It's going to be at
17th.
Exposition Park. We're going to have dignitaries there. We're going to have, stars. It's free food. It's entertainment.
What time does it start?
It starts at 11 o'clock
Okay, until
until I think it ends at about 5 or
Okay.
so. But it's an opportunity to have access to all the information of the activities that are going on,
very good.
Now, you spoke about access services. At one point, I used access services, and they're very big. They're at the hospital. It's West LA, pick up and delivery and that kind of thing. And I never will forget this. It was a heart-wrenching experience. It was this veteran that was quite senior to me, and he was crying. And he was standing out there crying. And so, I mean, that just touched me. And it's like, okay, stop the presses. I went and got everybody, and everybody just was willing to help him to come out there to see why this senior was crying, the senior veteran was crying. And come to find out that the doctors had kept him late for whatever it was, and he had missed his window for access services. And his wife was crying because he wasn't there, and they didn't know what to do.
Right.
And what moved me was somebody in the hospital got on the phone to Access Services, and they called them and told them this was a critical situation.
And they showed up.
They showed right up.
Yes, they will.
And I just thought that was so moving, because evidently this man had been married for so long that they just, I guess if one was in distress, the other
was in distress.
they knew it. You know, you 20 miles away. Oh, my husband having a problem. Oh, they knew it. And so he was standing there crying, and I was just really impressed how Access Services really.
Well, good. I've heard good, comments back. I have one of my card playing friends. She lives all the way in Pasadena, and she takes access from Pasadena over here to 36th and 39th and Crenshaw. And they will pick her up. She's been at house parties and things too.
With access.
We don't want to say too much good stuff. They might want to use us for a free infomercial. You hear us, Access?
You hear us, Access.
That's
you get
right.
in contact with us at the Raymond Home.
Thank you.
Seniors need to know that service is available.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they don't have to feel uncomfortable about getting out at night after dark.
Well, we need to do a lot of things to make seniors more comfortable with going out. We need to. I've seen this new lighting that they have. They just light up streets and things. We need to have more community-based policing. But I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying that we can innovatively enhance the quality of life for seniors by
keeping in touch with them.
Keeping in touch with them. Okay. So I hear phones, and I'm thinking we're losing our time. Yeah. Okay. So now we talked about the senior centers. We talked about transportation. We just talked about exercise. Where's that phone?
I think it might be their phone over there.
Oh. So we talked about. Let's talk a little bit with the few minutes we have left about nutrition.
Okay. And this healthy lifestyle.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
We only got a very, very short period, though.
Okay. So. Well, you have to eat healthy, and you have to follow your doctor's guidelines.
Okay.
Yes.
But, I mean, are there any places, are there, because I noticed on that same channel that they had this person cooking, and then when I went to you all center, you all have the healthy cooking class at Van Meter.
Yes,
Estelle Van Meter.
At Estelle Van Meter, we do have a healthy
and you all
cooking
have
class.
it.
Yes.
Okay.
Women for Wellness come out and
what
teach
about
classes. They're the instructors. The men are there learning.
Okay, the last question. When can I come and eat? That's what I'm trying to get to. Okay.
And the next time we have an event, you will be on the guest list. Trust me. You'll be there.
Okay. This time just seems to go
real fly.
Fast. Okay. We have just a few minutes left, and I just want to thank you for coming back and talking to us about it. Please keep us in touch with the CSL. The caucus meeting is coming up. Go to the web and take a look at it and that kind of thing.
And for our listeners, CSL is the California Senior Legislature. Okay. And we work on issues to help seniors, and housing is at the top of our list, seniors.
All right.
Because it's critical.
And
we're working on it.
Ms. Walker.
Thank you so much. I'd just like to say, again, thank you to each and every one of our panelists that came on today, our World War II veteran, his son, Miss Lavada Theus, and Mr. Hall. I just like to say thank you, and we look forward to keeping you informed with the community and the events that are taking place every day.
Okay. Look, we're going to have to get out of here, but before we go, service counts. The service of you is available to you only because of Mr. Simonet, who served under extremely difficult circumstances. People like him are the people who built the foundation of this nation. Have some respect. Have some respect through an understanding. Eternity is not yours here in America. Your eternity is where your eternity is here. This is your assignment. With your assignment, do good. Have service. We thank you for joining us here on the Raymond Hall Show, and we will see you next week. God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you again. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.